Parm Saran is a licensed, registered nurse with nearly 30 years of experience. She specializes in mental health and is an advocate for removing the stigma around mental illness. She is a certified therapist, coach, and motivational speaker. She is a holistic nursepreneur helping thousands with her online program, Pain to Purpose. She believes in creating your own destiny and empowering yourself, helping people live life by design and not by default. She has a YouTube channel where she encourages people to choose faith over fear and speak out against bullying, stigma, abuse, and violence. Her best-selling book, Own Your Life, Create As You Go, has inspired many to live life to its fullest potential. Parm is a wife and a mother, and her everyday message, especially to women, is do it. Because your kids deserve a mother they can brag about. She believes you can change your story to change your life and inspires people to do the same. Parm's motive is to help people find their inner power and be the person they are meant to be. Please welcome a voice of change, Parm Saran, and get ready for her show, Grow Your Greatness.
Hello everyone, good morning, good evening, Sat Shri Akal, Namaste, Adab. I hope you all are enjoying your life wherever you are. Today we are going to talk about men. It was International Men's Day, and being a mental health advocate, mental health ambassador, and on a mission to eradicate the stigma with mental illnesses, we are going to talk about men's mental health. Do you know that as per data, men suffer more from mental illnesses? Men also suffer from domestic abuses. Men also suffer from suicidal ideations, and the percentage of suicide is higher in men than in women. According to another research data, 77% men have mental health concerns, including stress, anxiety, depression. 40% of them never spoke about their concerns to anyone. And 29% out of those said they are embarrassed to talk about mental illnesses or their concerns or their issues. While 20% says they don't talk about it because of the stigma associated with it. How sad is that? Now, when we talk about men's mental health, men have same mental health concerns as women: anxiety, stress, depression, and all other minor major illnesses. But because men always have been told since when they were little boy that men don't cry, men are strong, men are brave, men don't show emotions, boys don't cry, boys are always strong, boys don't follow what girls do, boys do their own boy things. These types of limiting beliefs let men think that they don't have to talk about how they feel, because they feel that if they talk about their issues, their fears, their concerns, then they will be considered as weak as women. But let me tell you one thing. A person who can speak about their fears, who can speak about their issues, who can talk about their concerns, they are strong, not weak. Let's get that straight. If you are able to express how you feel, if you are able to tell others what your fears are, what you are afraid of, if you are able to make yourself vulnerable in front of others, that means you are strong, not weak. But because there is already stigma with mental illnesses, for women also, but for men it gets increased. The stigma gets more amplified because of the same reasons as I said earlier, because men from the little age, they're always told that speaking about their problems, speaking about their stresses, speaking about their mental illnesses is a weakness, which is wrong. And that's why when men don't express how they feel, they have a tendency to go more towards substance abuse, alcoholism, drugs, and antisocial behaviors. Whereas on the opposite side, women, they are always free to talk. They always talk how they feel. They're not scared of getting themselves feel vulnerable. They're always expressing themselves. So they are able to seek help more quickly than men. That's why the suicidal rates in women is lesser than men. So why don't men talk about their issues? Why don't men talk about their mental health concerns? Because they feel like they are masculine, and they think being masculine means being strong. Now let me tell you, there are two types of masculinity. One is healthy masculinity and the other one is toxic masculinity. Now what is the difference? What is masculinity first? Masculinity means the person having the traditional traits of a man, which is very stereotype. The traditional characteristics possessed by men, for example, strong, courageous, independent, and assertive, and in control. So these are very stereotype traits that we are being told, that men are being told that they have to possess this in order to be a man. Now, when we talk about toxic masculinity means when these so-called traits are to the extent that they started harming one's mental health. They started harming others around that person. So what are the signs of toxic masculinity? Number one, the person can be over controlling of the family members. Number two, they can be aggressive towards others. Number three, they can be dominating, especially to the children and female who they think they're weaker than them. Then their hyper independence. They feel like their ego comes in between, that they don't want to ask anyone for any help. They are so independent in themselves. Now, being independent is not a bad thing as long as it's not affecting your mental health. And then these toxic masculinity will be anti-feminine. They're always against women. Not against women in as such as against women in physicality, but against women's traits, against women crossing the boundaries, against women going higher than themselves. And then sexual aggression. And this toxic masculinity can give rise to poor health, domestic abuse, rapes, sexual aggression, unhappy relationships, and isolation. And because of this unhappy relationship, isolation, this leads them to go towards alcoholism, drug use, and antisocial activities, antisocial behaviors. On the other hand, what is healthy masculinity? Healthy masculinity means, although men can be physically more stronger, but they can also express themselves emotionally. They have the right to express how they feel. They have the right to speak up about their concerns, about their issues, about their challenges. They can ask for help. They can seek help. And they can cry without being judged. And they encourage compassion. They're not scared to address any disrespect towards a female or towards themselves. They listen to others, how they feel, and then they express themselves how they feel about it. This is healthy masculinity. Means they're not stereotyped. They are out of that cage that we tell our little boys that boys don't cry. Don't be like a girl. Don't shy like a girl. Don't cry like a girl. Don't play like a girl. So these kinds of stereotype things that we tell our little boys, that's what happens when they grow up. They grow up into toxic masculinity. So there is only one way to stop this toxic masculinity, to raise healthy boys, to raise healthy men. Number one, stop telling young boys how they should behave. Let them be. Let them express themselves the way they want to express themselves. Let them be vulnerable. Let them show emotions. Let them learn how to speak about themselves. Let them learn how to seek for help. And we can only bring this change by understanding our own limiting beliefs. How are we feeling yourself as men? How are you feeling about yourself? How are you feeling about your young son? Are you telling your son to follow the steps that you followed? Or are you telling your son to be the way they want to be? Now, ladies, you have to support your partners. You can help a person to get rid of toxic masculinity by being friendly to them, by letting them cry in front of you, by listening to them how they feel, by telling them that it's okay to not be okay at times, by helping them to help manage the work stresses, the workloads, by sharing the responsibilities of your man, and by telling them that they can speak up, and by making them feel that they are heard. We need to raise healthy men, and we can only do that by raising healthy young boys. Let's start from our sons. Let's raise our sons in a way that they know how to respect themselves, how to respect their emotions, how to manage their emotions, how to speak about any issues and concerns, so that they can in turn understand other people's issues, they can understand other people's concerns, they can be more compassionate towards others. Let's raise a healthy society. Let's talk about our mental health concerns. Don't shush them. Speak about them. It's okay to have some mental health concerns. It's not a crime and you don't have to hide it. Speak up. By speaking up, so many of problems can be solved. If we talk, we just need to start a dialogue. By starting a dialogue, by talking about it, any problem can be solved. Let's eradicate the stigma around mental illnesses, especially for men. Let's help our men to be healthy, physically, mentally, emotionally, socially, and spiritually. Let's raise a healthy society. Till we meet again, stay healthy. Keep supporting each other. Keep listening to each other. Keep encouraging each other to speak up. And take care.